I'm live, and I just looked over my shoulder, and I don't have any crayons. They're crayons, but you just can't see them, so you guys don't have to guess which crayons are in the box. Let me see if I get this propped up properly. Boom, boom. A little extra cleavage going on tonight. Tighten that down. Hair is getting a little wild now. So you could tell who's quarantining and who's not quarantining. You watch all these celebrities on the news and everything like that, and they're like, I'm quarantining, blah, blah, but then their hair is done, their makeup is done. I'm like, you didn't do that yourself. That's bull. But what's going on, everybody? I hope you're having a good night, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. I've got my single cube, and this single cube is a half of a ice ball. I decided to just use the bottom half because the ice ball, if I'm like talking to you guys, dilutes my water or my iced tea. Tonight, we've got the Glenlivet 15 bottle. I store. This is a sweet tea. This is a Southern sweet tea. But the sugar, just when you let the sugar open up over time, and so I put it in these bottles, it gets a little bit more of an aggressive flavor, which is nice. But I hope you guys can drink whatever you want tonight and join me. But the Glenlivet 15 bottle is one of my favorite bottles to keep around. It's got a nice shape to it, good color on the label. Yeah, it's a lot of effort there. Yeah. Above the ear has grown in. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. You know what? They definitely both have grown in. We're getting like, this is not. I mean, I guess it hides any potential bald spot up here, but we're getting a little mad scientist style. It's getting a little too long to spike. I put it up in the air. I'm like, all right, that's not happening. But let's see. Pickle Me Timbers is back. I love people with names that I can remember. But welcome, guys. Hello. Happy Friday night. Cheers to you, whoever is out there, and wherever you guys are. Drop your locations real quick. The part is over. Like, God, he's awful. We've had some crappy weather in New York recently to also counteract the coronavirus. I've got what else do I have? I've got the houses plugging away. I've got the plumbers over there. Chicago. Let's see, where are we going here? Orange County. I know where that is. Nevada, Northern Nevada. Monaco. There you go, Tadalex. I'm going to be in Monaco probably for my birthday. Supposed to go to Oktoberfest, but they canceled it. North Carolina, France, Australia. Cheers. Good day, mate. Chicago, North Carolina, Liverpool, UK. I'll be over in the UK in October. A mullet for freedom. Not doing the mullet, boys. All right. Marsh, Bam, P Poo Poo. Hi, Rob. Big fan. P Poo Poo. I think that one, I just want to make sure I read that correctly. I have to see. I want to pause you guys. I'm torn. I'm not going to answer it. It's going to ring 4 times, but I'm not going to answer it. So Marsh Bam Ooh said PP Poo Poo. Hi, Rob. Big fan. P Poo Poo. You're welcome, everybody. I think everybody needed to hear that. Just switched over to Google Fi, and I want to tell you guys to hang out because I don't want to got calls coming to me after hours. You can watch me live. Good evening, Gotham Dream Cars. Hello. There's nobody there. Wasted my time. Sometimes I send calls to me after hours, especially now. Venezuela, Cincinnati, South Africa. Arctic Rob, what's up? Robbie Rock. You are ever in Long Island, come race my Tesla. There's no winners there, right? Like everybody knows like a Tesla's a quick like get around car. It's an electric car. It's quick. But like it's not like I'm gonna win and be like, yay, I beat a Tesla. And if you lose, it's like I lost to a Tesla, but I would not want to drive a Tesla. It's weird. It's like electric cars, sports cars are just two different things. But thank you very much. Long Island is cool for people from Long Island. There's a place in Long Island I like to go called Jones Beach. This is Rob. We do, yes. Sure. You just have to be over the age of 21 with a valid license, valid car insurance, and the cost is $19.50 per day plus tax. Same thing, same stuff. We have a Ferrari 488 Spider. We don't really, it's a weird price point for us, but we have the Mercedes AMG GT below that. We have a Corvette C8, Porsche 911, or a Corvette Z06 convertible also below that price point. That's the Gallardo. We don't have those until like June, July. Sure. When were you looking for it? Oh, got it. No problem. You got it. Have a good night. That you could tell is desperation. My phone is not on silent, and I'm answering like a business call after hours on a Friday night. That's when you know business is slow. You got to take everything you can get. Sorry to make you guys wait. So we got that. Let's scroll down here. I'll try to get everybody. Will Thompson from Canada, $3.99 Canadian. Let your wife cut your hair again, but stream it. I don't know if that's a good idea. I'm gonna have to. Like, I don't see haircuts or barbershops. Jersey and New York are both very, very tough states as far as like opening up. We're gonna need a couple of weeks of like these other places are like, we're open. Like I think I may have done myself in by. This is Rob. Yep, I know it. All right, that's the last call I'm going to answer. That's by mentioning that I was taking calls, that has done me in because now people are like, oh, if I call the Gotham line, it's going to go to Rob. That I heard myself in the background on that one, and then I heard Rob Spaghetti. I had to hang up. I'm sorry for hanging up on you, but this is not personal attention time. It's yeah. You know, as soon as I said Gotham Dream Cars, I'm like, I've screwed myself. The MN, what is it? The M Nike Bowers. Sounds like a hockey player. Spaghetti Man, thank you for stopping in. Arctic Rob, no, I want you to drive it. I've driven Teslas, unless it's like a modified Tesla. I know what a Tesla is. But I mean, Teslas go fast and they do it in a very boring way. I get it. And I always feel bad. You chew through somebody's battery so quickly and they're like, oh, it just, I don't know. It's Teslas are Teslas. Where'd we go here? You got that one. Ocean Parkway, baby. Absolutely. I've had some some wild rippers on Ocean Parkway. I also had a Lambo totaled on Ocean Parkway. It was a LP 640 Roadster. And I got that back. The guy spun out. Let's see, there's another. Now you guys are just going to be blowing up my phone. Redirect calls over to somebody else, and then they're just going to yell at you. Let's see. Let's see. Can I rent your sister for the weekend? I don't have a sister, but I could put one of my brothers in a wig. It's cheap, discounted. Let's see here. Please use your microphone for all of our ears' sake. See, I've yet to come up with a good, like, Google Studio stream. And I've got the G7X Mark II that I said it works with Zoom to look like a superstar in Zoom. But I don't know if it works with the integration on YouTube yet. And I like the YouTube comment platform. But I am pretty cognizant of the audio quality, video quality that you're going to get in a live stream when you're running through just the mic. I mean, I think it's cool that the camera's mic and camera, the computer's mic and camera. I think you guys have to appreciate that I fixed the like bump in the table and the computer vibrates. I use this, so now when I hit the table, it's not an earthquake anymore. That's another proper use of a tequila bottle. See? Good stuff. Your hair is looking bad as mine. Thanks. Carson Brindle sent me $5. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. That was the balloon white one, Chris. And there was a story behind that one. I'll probably do this story. There's another car I got burnt on. Always. Where I ended up doing the right thing, although I didn't have to. But somebody brokered the sale of the car and screwed the guy that they sold it to. Didn't pay me all the money. Overcharged that guy. Lied to me about what they collected. Just a complete nightmare. And then he shorted me, and I said, I'm not giving you the title until you pay me the full balance. And then the guy who sold it or bought it, who got totally hosed on it, who was like in Albany and I'm in New York, started giving me the story like, oh, this guy, I'm going to sue him, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, he stopped answering our calls. I just sent the guy the title over the $5,000. So I got hosed for $5,000 by a guy who has hosed other people for lots of money too. The hoodwink. Carson Brindle. Hey, Rob, thanks for the Smile Direct Club advertisement. Last week made a nice flip. Yes. The advice, I hear you. I did drop the Smile Direct. That was not meant, like, remember, stock tips from Rob Ferretti are not, I am far from a stock professional, but Smile Direct Club did sort of double in the last, like, 2 or 3 weeks. So I have also, I actually sold out some of it on my one account thinking like it's going to go back down. And then it just kept going up. And I was like, whatever. I think still long-term play. I still think that 20, 25, maybe even $30 range at some point in the next couple of years. Scoop it up at 7, whether you're at absolute bottom where it was like $3.60 a share. I started pouring it in when it was sub $4. But I'm glad you made some money. Cheers. How's the Evo? I was just talking to Sarah N. Tuned. She is going to come out and work on the Evo after this whole pandemic thing is over. And her boyfriend, I think boyfriend, husband, something, is like a welder and everything. So he'll probably come out as well. And we'll just get that thing banged out right quick. And like, as I said, I just put on my Instagram today a picture of my car hauler. And I said, if this car hauler doesn't look like Speed Force 1 come July 4th, I'm going to sell it. And so now I've got guys fixing the diesel smoke, which was the #1 problem. Then I could send it in, get the cab painted. When the cab is painted, then I can start decaling the bed and then the cab. Send me this pen, nice. Let's see. I think, okay, that caught me up on those. Yeah, But it's been a pretty decent week for the market. I think it was pretty hard to lose money in the market this week. I did accidentally sell out of my Amazon stock by trying to put like a stop limit on it. But again, I'm not. So I put a stop limit and it ended up selling it. I'm like, wait, I didn't want to sell it. It didn't hit the limit. And then it went up like $200 a share. But then it came down below where I sold it at. So I was like, I win. So no matter what, it's just, I don't day trade. I don't day trade for a reason. But let's see here. Carson we got. The Duder we got. Tim R. Would you rent a Ferrari for like a half hour for a few $100? Really want to drive one? Yeah, we do something called a test drive. And the test drive is cool. The test drive allows you to just like go on like it's a half-hour test drive, and we let you do all those cars, and you get the cheapest you're going to get into one of my cars, anywhere from 150 to $400 depending on the car. If you wanted to rent something by the mile, we also do that. So if you're like same day or something like that, and you're like, hey, what do you have? I do a $300 minimum, and then you could pay per mile. It's more expensive. Like, say a Lamborghini is $2,000 a day with 100 miles in it. If you're doing it by the mile, you're paying at least $20 a mile. You're not getting it for like $10 a mile. Then you do 100 miles and you pay half price. That's not how it works. But usually it's more than the daily rate. So if something is $500 a day with 100 miles, figure $5 a mile, we'll charge you $8 a mile. So, and then obviously if you cross the threshold where it would be cheaper to just have done the daily rental, I just charge you the lesser of the two. I like your hair like that. I don't like my hair. This is too much hair. I don't know, like I see my hair like this and I'm like, it's too long. And then I see pictures of myself with shorter hair and I'm like, it's too short. Some things in life, you'll never win. I almost went and bought, happy birthday, Rob. It's not my birthday, bro. Oh, it's my kids. I see that. So I got the 8 balloon here, which is out of frame, and then the 4 balloon over there. My kids turn 4 and 8 in a week. So, how much have you, as the CA, made you since you got it? That's a good question. And now there's gross and then there's net. So when a car goes out, it's got the rental rate, it's got additional miles, so that would blend it in. So time and mileage would go into the rental income. Then you have transport expense, if there is a transport or delivery expense, a fuel and toll surcharge for the fuel and tolls, which washes. So like whether we make $10 or lose $10 in the customer. Man, this thing is just blowing up right now. I'm just not going to answer any more of those calls tonight. Let's see. But yeah. So you have that, and then you have tax, which obviously just gets put into a sales tax account. Everything goes to the state. So if you were talking about how much it's made me gross, just say 10 or 12 grand. Net, significantly less than that. Because remember, you got to back out delivery fees, you got to back out fuel and toll surcharges, and then you just get to the time and mileage on it, which I can do pretty easily in my system. I'm just not gonna. I think it's irrelevant. But then you have to back out the depreciation, the interest expense, registration expense, like the one-time expenses, and then the actual operating expenses, insurance cost. So it's a little bit more complicated than how much has it made you. The quicker thing to do would have been to sell it and make money, but it's not how we roll. Braxton Downs, cheers to you, my friend. Sweet tea. Why are you drinking all the time, sir? Excellent question. How plumber works. North Jersey sucks. Where were you, plumber works? I would have brought you up from South Jersey to do my plumbing. Is the house done yet? The house is not done yet. No, why would the house be done? I just showed you last week. We were doing the rough plumbing. So why would, like, yeah, we did the rough plumbing last week. It's like television throws things off for people. Like, flip this house and you watch a 60-minute episode and they take a house from demo to completion. Let's see. Yeah. But yeah. How much should Chiron's rent be for today? You wouldn't rent a Chiron. Nobody rents Bugattis. It's not a viable business model to rent a Bugatti. Let's just put it that way. Pickle me timbers. I didn't even say that very well, but has COVID, I'm assuming you're talking about the 19, not any of the other COVIDs. Has COVID changed adventure drives in any way? As of right now, no, but it's on our radar. So adventure drives is still scheduled to take place, but we have to be cognizant of several things. If COVID changes the experience significantly, like I can't control if they make us space out the tables at the restaurants, it doesn't really change the experience so much. But if it's something where our experience significantly is altered, national parks are closed, the border crossing is closed, so we can't go into Canada, stuff like that would require a postponement, which would get pretty weird because I don't know. I mean, I guess they'd have to if hotels would carry that stuff over, because some of the hotels are paid in advance. And there's one hotel where after 2 nights, like $700 or $800 a night Canadian, so $650 a night. But that's $1,300 per room times 25 rooms. Pretty, it's a pretty large nut that they're sitting on. So we're sort of have to work around them. And then moving, it's really tough because you have to make sure that all those hotels that you had when we're going to these places, that's just the best hotel there. Like you got to make sure they have the same availability for in sequential order for each of those different cities. So, excuse me. B from Woodstock, Georgia. Dragon's Tail Adventure Drives. You need to check out my bespoke audio setup in the 430 Scuderia if you're ever in the area. We did twice go through Tail of the Dragon on Adventure Drives. We did it 2 falls ago. So last fall we were just down in Charleston to Miami, and then the prior year we went from Washington D.C. to Nashville. That's when we caught Tail of the Dragon. What's your first-hand club brand? First-hand club brand. That's a weird question because I don't know how to answer that. First-hand club brand, golf clubs? Or am I just like oblivious and missing something? Are there any updates on the legality of the Montana loophole? No, everybody is doing, everybody does Montana. Like it's a thing. So I can't say there is any update on it. I don't know any of the guys that like the 1 or 2 notable guys that got like arrested in Atlanta. I don't have any updates on those guys because I don't follow up. Someone was driving your 488 Spider and Alpine on 9W today. It was not mine. Mine's over at Cosmos for service. Where are the house updates? No house updates yet. I'm in a lawsuit over my house. So I'm not posting any videos of my house stuff until the lawsuit is resolved. Dude, your apparel is looking... What is with my apparel? The shirt? This is my apparel? It's like Banana Republic or something. Wow, we're getting dirty in here. Any update on your wife's panties? Lego my ego. You're getting hit hard over there by the by the coronavirus solidarity or whatever, the solitude. William Olmeyer. Hey, Rob, last week I asked you about my Esprit TR8. I do remember that. I also have a 993. What are your thoughts on the 993? 993 is cool. The air-cooled Porsches. It's the last of the, like, I love what the values of them have done, and they're fun cars to drive. I think I would take a 997 over a 993. They're pretty much like similar money, but I do like the 993. It's my favorite car that you own, if assuming those are your only three cars. I do like the 993, then the Esprit, then the TR8, in that order. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah, student driver is cranking. It's just not starting and staying operational for a minute. So I got to figure out that. I do think it's the AEM is the issue, but I'm working with AEM. I just want to do my due diligence on my side to make sure it's actually the AEM and not another problem. I would hate to have them send me another one and have the same problem. This is a Glenlivet 15 bottle. It's a Scotch from the Speyside region with bottle. The liquor inside is no longer whiskey. It is just sweet tea, which I mix myself. And the Glenlivet distillery is actually, I think I showed you guys last time, the Glenlivet distillery is gorgeous. Let me just pull up Scotland. We're going to Scotland in, let's see, Glenlivet, perfect. We're going to Scotland in October. Why does it just show me these photos? Well, anyway, here's the Glenlivet distillery. The picture from outside is what I wanted to show you because that looks so boss. Oh, there it is. Look at this. Gorgeous. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. It's from the other side. It's me cheesing. It's the countryside. I mean, it was a memorable place. I enjoyed that. This is their cellar. And I like the guys that were very cool. The guys allowed me to sample I was the 30-year or something like that, and I was just BSing with them for a while, and they didn't charge me. I was that charismatic. Some of the roads in Scotland, just lots of big empty roads. But the Scotland trip's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. One of the trips that I know will absolutely not. I mean, if it's affected in October, like, we're going to be walking around with machine guns and stealing go bags. Let's see. Why are you making us drink alone this week? I'm not making you drink alone. You could drink with me. All right, so that was William. I got you. Pat Colburn. Thoughts and opinions on the Jeep Trackhawk? Well, that's a fast Jeep. I'm not a fan of the fast SUVs, personally. Fast SUVs to me are sort of a waste of an engine because the faster you make an SUV, you're not fixing the aerodynamics. You're just got a flying brick. We'll play What's in My Wallet in a minute, but I was sitting on it. It was hurting my ass. The flying brick, like having like I always tell people, like, you can put 1,000 horsepower on a dumpster. That doesn't make it something I'd want to drive in, and especially not drive fast in. The Jeeps are not going to handle like a sports car. It's sort of a waste of horsepower. You need to put huge brakes on them just to offset the fact that you have to slow down for much higher speeds. I would, so personally, not a fan of the Trackhawks. Trent Schaefer, cheers, Mr. Spaghetti. I hope to get on adventure drives with you and the rest pretty soon. Any more $500 car challenges coming soon? Yeah, so that is in the works. I was actually going to go pick up my first car. Me, Matt Farah, Rob Dom, Dave Patterson, we're all in the process of purchasing our first vehicles to do a $500 car challenge. And I was able to get mine for $500, which sounds easy, right? Because it was like 30 years ago. But it was also, it's a 1988 Pontiac Bonneville. They're also incredibly hard to come by because it was so much of a pile of crap that nobody ends up fixing them after a while. They all just get scrapped. And I mean, could be turned into a can opener by now, for all I know. So yes, that we were actually supposed to film one of those in March, but that was obviously kicked off because of this whole travel ban. Which do I prefer, Glenlivet or Glenfiddich? Glenfiddich is my drink. Glenfiddich 15 to be exact. I've gone through the whole Glenfiddich range up to 25-30. The 21 rum cask, not really a fan. The 14 I definitely don't really like. I do 15 or 12. Not a big fan of the 18 either. The 20, it would be 15, 25, 18 in the Glenfiddich line. Who's cooler, you or Rob Dom? Rob Dom is cooler than I am. I've had both Glenlivet and Glenfiddich. What is the difference? So different distilleries. It's what's the difference between Mondavi and Duckhorn. And they're same area, just different distilleries. Where'd we go here? Let's make sure I'm catching all these comments. We got that. Trent, I hope to see you on adventure drives because they're a lot of fun. Like adventure drives, I almost feel like I'm showing off to a lot of people all week because it's like, wow, this is like all I hear is like, this is so awesome, this is so awesome, this is so awesome, and I'm just like, yeah, I know, like that's why I brought you guys here. But it's a lot of fun. I want to visit the Arborlauer distillery. So the Arborlauer distillery is actually right next to the hotel we're staying at. And the Arborlauer distillery was a little underwhelming, very small gift shop in the front. I didn't even do the tour or anything like that, but it was, if you're there for a while, by all means, bang them all out. But that is not one of the places that I wouldn't put that first on my list. But I do like the Arborlauer 10. Let's see. Pickle Me Timbers. Picked up a 34,000-mile, 6-speed manual, 996 for $19,000. I am proud of you, my friend. Perfect car for Tampa traffic, in my opinion. I don't understand why people talk bad about them. I don't know why people talk bad about the 996s either. I think the main problems they have are just the infotainment area, the radio, the air conditioning controls. It was almost 20 years ago now. Like it is what it is. They're not the biggest fan of the headlights, but all Porsches essentially look the same anyway. And then they're not a fan of the IMS bearings, which I've talked to so many people about like IMS bearing failures and everything like that. And I'm like, just if it goes, it goes. Oh, we could do this preventative thing for $3,000. I'm like, what happens if it goes? It'll cost me $4,000. So wait till it goes. Like, why are you going to spend preventative money? Not every 996 has engine failure. And if you do, you're out $4 or $5 grand. That's part of the game. But don't spend the money to avoid save 1,000. Do you still run cars in Miami, Rob? I don't do cars in Miami this past year. I'll probably do them again this fall. But my Miami fleet is always like a couple of cars from New York that we send down there. But they'll go down usually like December, January, February, maybe March. When am I going to work with Cletus again? I will at some point in time, I'm sure. Probably the next not Project Car Challenge, the next Project Car Challenge I'll have Cletus out on. How do you find a partner for someone to go on vacation? On vacation? That's easy. Just like with like adventure drives, we just pair people up, and people generally, if you're like, imagine going to a Star Wars convention, right? Like if I say you're going to have to room with somebody else who's also in town for the Star Wars convention, not such a big deal because you have similar interests. That's what Adventure Drives is that it's something that people that are there generally get along because they're all there for the same reason, to enjoy driving and not have stickers on the car and sort of have a good time. Oh, excuse me. Yes, Arbor Lauer does have a great price point. I agree. Hey, Rob, what are your thoughts on the 07 RS4? Saw a video of you driving one. I wanted to see what your thoughts of it are. I love the RS4. They really hold their value very well. They've been like 25 to 35 grand for the last 8 years. But they do have the carbon buildup issue, which again, like, don't not buy a car that on cars, you're either going to spend the money on maintenance or spend the money on depreciation. That one, you're spending the money on the maintenance. The only thing I really didn't like about the RS4, and I drove it New York to LA, it was super fun, and I went very, very quickly in it. The only thing I didn't like about it was the second gear was incredibly short. So a lot of the times I would just shift first to third, because second was like, you're in second, not long enough, and it had enough power to sort of pull through. It had enough power to pull through on where you're going with third. So I'm smoking Afghani hash. Nice. See, I just so I should get another S7. No. Doug DeMuro Celine S7 video is funny, and I owned an S7 for a while with a rental company, and I will probably watch Doug DeMuro's video. I don't watch anyone really, but I am curious to see what other people who are actually driving an S7 think of it, because it's sort of a terrible car to drive. It's gorgeous in every way, shape, or form, but sort of a terrible car to drive. What happened when you ran from the cops in the Ford GT? I was going to upload that full video, and I just keep not getting around to it. I've been banging through hard drives, and like I just keep strolling down memory lane. I'm like, oh, I remember this, and I would get like lost looking at my old stuff. And yeah, so your drink must be very smooth if you drink it with no ice. I'm smooth. That's why I'm drinking with no ice. There was a half ice cube in it, which is now part of the drink. What's the most profitable rental in your fleet? See, that's an excellent question. It's my birthday. I'm turning 40. So profitability goes off of a couple of things, and you don't really know true profitability until you get rid of the asset. So say you have a Porsche that makes $75,000. I'm making these numbers up. You know, let's change it. Let's have a Rolls Royce that makes you $100,000, right? And then you have a Lamborghini that makes you $200,000. Buy the Lamborghini for 200 grand, you sell it for 100. It's cost you $100,000 in depreciation to make that $100,000. You buy the Rolls Royce, $300,000, only makes you 100 grand, but you sell it for 290. So it costs you $10,000 to own. Insurance, you can just say, is constant across all vehicles, and maintenance, you'd have to factor that in. And then the only other factor you'd have to consider is the cost of capital, if there is a cost of capital. So if you have the money, you're out, say, 5%, 4%, whatever you'd be making having the cash and not having to borrow, or you're going to be out the interest expense, and the interest expense on $300,000 is clearly more than the interest expense on $200,000. So you sort of add those up, and you can see which is better. So even the car that cost more but made less could be a better option than the car that costs less and made more because it had less depreciation. Depreciation is probably the biggest expense you're going to deal with in the exotic car rental world. Tom Solia. Have you driven any of the B5 S4 RS4s only overseas 2.7 TT? I haven't driven the twin turbo ones. The RS4 that I liked was the 07. That was a solid year. 07, 08, I think it is. But yeah, but the RS4, I did enjoy that car. I've looked a couple of times to get one as a daily, and I just don't want to spend 30 grand on a daily driver. For that, I'd probably get a Maserati or something like that. You said your business costs $70,000 a month in overhead. Is that just the rental car company? Sounds like a lot. Yeah, that's I've had companies that have cost me 250. The same rental companies cost me almost 250,000 a month in overhead in the past. There was a time I had $1.5 million in payroll. So that's every month you're sending out like $130,000 just in payroll for everybody. But yeah, I mean, when you start factoring in the cost of cars and everything like that, Lamborghinis, $4,500 a month just for the lease payment, not including the 40 grand you put down or whatever you do there. So you get 2 Lamborghinis, it's $9,000 without insurance before you do anything. I mean, the numbers just start adding up. Then you have staff, and which staff is equally as, usually staff is about 50% of the expense. Let's see. UK is Britain, the island of England, Wales, Scotland, as well as Northern Ireland. Yes, I know that. Or at least I knew Scotland and the UK were conjoined. I talked to LG Motorsports recently. Anything more with them? Yeah, I've got LG Motorsports. Sergio over there is whipping up my catch can and new valve covers for the Corvette. So I've got a better breathing system. William Olmeyer. Doug DeMuro thinks the manual version of the Maserati Coupe GT is a real bargain. I think it is too. And that's when you're talking about the Maserati manual, you're talking about like the 03. I don't think they made a manual when they came out with the Gran Turismo. But yeah, the 03 manual for like 12 grand is pretty solid. It's shaped like a bar of soap, specifically Dove. Do you look again? Manual, like the bigger problems that you're having with the early Maseratis isn't the engine or so much electrical. It's usually the transmission. So if you can get rid of that and switch to a manual, I think you're in good shape. How much did your father's business affect your business aptitude? My dad sells furniture, doesn't adapt very much to the market. He just goes and shows up and does his thing. So I sort of figure things out more than he does. He's been doing that for a long time. Times change and he did not, but he's put a lot of money into his like properties and his building and everything like that, and that's his sort of nest egg. And now he's getting to the point where he's selling out of the building. The business is worth zero, but he's selling out of the building, and then he'll retire off of that. Wow, somebody sent me a little video of a bird doing a fist bump. That's cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. Thank you, Sergeant J, for opening my eyes. Best manual four-door you can recommend, either the M5 or the RS4. I think the RS4 would probably be preferable over the M5, but yeah. So when I was talking about Europe before, that reminded me of a story when we went as I'm rolling through these old hard drives. And you'll see I posted photos on my Instagram this week of like Matt Farah, JF, Sarah, Shivam, Tim, Tom Morningstar, and myself in Copenhagen. And then we went up to Koenigsegg. It was cool because we then went down through Switzerland and everything like that. And Tom Morningstar had a, I want to say a retarded friend. I don't know if he's actually retarded, but he invited his buddy who was just, I just want to say hitchhiking across Europe down to visit, right? I was like, oh, my buddy's going to come down. I'm like, all right, cool. We get in there, and his buddy is like, I don't know if you guys remember the story from last week of the guy who was like the worst person I've ever met. Well, this guy was a close second. I think they would get along very well. We're staying at the Hotel Schweisserhof, which is in Lucerne, Switzerland, on the lake. and 5-star place. It's 400, 500 bucks a night, whatever it is. But like, this guy is there. He's got his longboard skateboard that he's like training through Europe with his skateboard, and he's wearing like a t-shirt. He puts his arms up and he cut the armpits out, and it's like, oh my God, you're offensive. Like, you're American. Like, you don't even have to, like, I know you're one of us. And this guy was absolutely like, I was like, all right, like, I'll let that slide, but like, this probably isn't going to work out. And I guess maybe Tom gave him the wrong impression that he was going to be able to come along with us for the rest of the trip. And I'm like, hey, we're going to Davos. Like, we go to dinner, and we specifically, so first off, I'm Matt Farah's down in the bar. Let's put it this way. Matt Farah, everybody's got it. He's got his beer. He's got everybody's got a drink. Matt's like, you know what? I'll get it. Gives his credit card to the guy, and everyone's like, oh, thanks. And then the guy walks away, and then Armpits is like, oh, hey, can I get one to go too? And Matt's like, no, like, you don't get one to go because I pick up the tab, so you're getting another one to pile on. Now, this guy has Matt Farah can tell the story better than I can, but Matt Farah's father was a big CEO in the fashion world, and or COO, whatever he was, but he was a big dude in the fashion world. Had a private plane, and this guy goes to Matt, and like, Matt's his dad's son, right? Matt doesn't say, hey, Dad, can I use the jet? Like, that's just the astronomical cost of flying around in a jet just doesn't transfer over. I don't know what he uses it for, personal, business, whatever. His kid's not using it to fly around. That's not how it works. And Matt would never ask him. Fast forward, this kid's like, hey, Matt, can you talk to your dad? Can I jump on his flight when he's going to Europe? I want to go over it. No, like, that's insulting. You can't ask for something like that. I would never ask my dad. Oh, come on, bro. Like, that's bull. Like, why wouldn't you do that? What do you mean, why wouldn't I do it? I don't even fly on my dad's jet. Why would I get a seat on my dad's jet for you? It's called jet hiking. What? Jet hiking. 73% of jets fly empty seats, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yeah, no. Like, just never talk to me ever again. That's the guy with the armpits who Matt then, yeah. And within, Noah was there. Was a couple of people there. Within first 5 minutes or so, everyone's like, I hate this person. Like, this is the worst person alive. And it's like a pretty chill group of people. And this guy has managed to offend everybody inside 5 minutes. So, and that sort of tells you who he is. And I'm like a pretty easygoing guy. I'm like, all right, it's his guy's buddy. So we go to dinner. We're like, Tom, why don't you go to dinner with your buddy? They end up coming to the same place we are, but they like go to the bar and they don't sit with us, which is good. And like, fast forward, this guy, I don't remember what he did, but he annoyed everybody, even at dinner somehow. He brought some like old women over from the bar. It's like, come on, man. They're like 60 years old. Like, why are you bringing two 60-year-olds over here? And so the next morning, he's like, going to come with us. And I pull Tom to the side. And I'm like, look, dude, like, your guy has offended everybody. Like, everybody. There's not one person in my group, and I like everybody in my group, that doesn't think that your guy is the worst human being on the planet. So, like, he's in the running with the other guy for the worst human being on the planet. So you've got this guy, and you think he's going to come with us. That's not happening. I'm like, he's your friend. It's Europe. It's public. I can't stop you, but you're working this trip. Like, you're filming for us. So you're more than welcome to invite this guy. You can tell him exactly where we're going to be. He can train. He can skateboard. He can do whatever he wants. He can meet us in each different place every night. You can go off with him. We'll go do our thing. But he's not part of this group. Like, he is like persona non grata. And Tom's like, well, I mean, I guess I could try to talk to him. And so, like, then the guy comes up and he's like, sort of not confronting me in the morning. I'm like, look, dude, we're here. We're doing a professional thing. We're filming. It's a filming trip. You're not invited. And I hate to do this because I don't So I've never like kicked anyone out of anything in my life. But I'm like, you could meet us, you can hang out with them, but you can't be part of the group. Is that cool? And it's like, yeah, I get it. And then like next thing you know, he like skateboards away to the train and never saw him again in my life. Possibly one of the best moves I've ever made is to tell that guy to piss off. And you can just ask Matt Farah about Teddy. Say, hey Matt, tell me about Teddy, and don't tell him I said anything. Just say, I heard about Teddy. Could you tell me? And Matt will just lay into it. So, let's see. Fallon Brittany, top 5 Supras that are memorable from people you know. You could name the people or describe the car. I mean, I'm going to say my Supra because I know that one. The Supra from Paul Walker, Fast and the Furious. That's the orange one with the lightning bolt. The Titan Supra is another one. There was the gray Veil, the silver Veil side Supra that I'll remember. I'm trying to think of what the. So you have mine, Rogers, Titans, Veil side, and Paul Walker. I think I nailed them. But I think, well, I know Brittany had a Supra that was stolen, or Fallon had a Brittany. Had a Supra that was stolen, but I didn't have any like connection to that. Like I know it from the stories about the theft. I don't know the car specifically, so I'm sticking with my top 5. Roman Shushkin, Shukusin. Rob, thank you for your videos. Oh, thank you for your videos. Greetings from New Mexico. Cheers to you, Roman. Sergeant J, I got a red thumbs up. I don't even know what that means. I don't know where people are getting these cool, like, new emoji things. Let's see. Craft vanilla beer, huh? That's strange. Why you gotta have your live stream during live PD? That's Brandon Nieder. I don't know. When is live? There's always live PD. You just happen to be watching it right now. You can both rewatch this unless you want to engage with me, or you can always rewatch live PD by recording it, which doesn't really make it live, but it was still live to tape. Make Money Trucking. Want to go on adventure drives October, Scotland. Estimate on how much for car rental. Thought my trucking company had high overhead. So the car rentals are actually relatively cheap in Europe. You can figure anywhere between like $1,200 and $5,000 will get you a car soup to nuts for that whole trip. And when I say a car, like a fun car. If you wanted just a BS runaround car or just jump a seat in somebody's car, it's $300. But if you want like a BMW, Mustang, all the way up to the Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Porsches, everything like that, it's between $1,200 and $5,000. But that trip is going to be cool. That's going to be a lot of good memories to be made. There's a lot. It's a very unique country. Chris Styles. Speaking of going down memory lane, will GDC ever do barbecue poker runs, car washes again? Those were the days down on Railroad Avenue. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. I don't like the liability of the drives, especially with my YouTube channel. I don't want somebody like trying to race me or something like that, or like, oh, Rob Ferretti was leading a drive and then this happened. Have I ever met? I ever met Jeremy Clarkson? No, but I met the other guys. We were in Ely, Nevada. I think I talked about Ely, Nevada last time when I was talking about the Silver State Classic. But in Ely, Nevada, they happened to be filming while we were in Ely, Nevada, and they were doing that like ZR1 versus something else. But we were in the middle of Ely, Nevada. And I'm like, wait a second, a ZR1? Like, this is a new car. It was like I just didn't see that as being possible. And then we went inside and we're just sitting at the bar because there's not many places to go drink. And it was like a bar casino. And we went in and it was like Tanner Faust was there. This is when Tanner was maybe stunt driving for them or something like that. This is before the American Top Gear. and yeah, CR1 CTSV SRT8 Challenger. But the so we're just sitting at the bar. I think so. We were just BSing with them randomly because like we were legitimately in the middle of nowhere. And props to I just said his name and I forgot it now. He's on the American Top Gear. Tanner Faust bought me and the boys drinks. That was very cool of him. He didn't really know us, so that was nice gesture. Granted, it was probably $10 for a couple of beers, but absolutely unnecessary and cool. Let's see. C6, have I ever met Mario Andretti? I have met Mario Andretti. Bull Run 2006. I met Mario Andretti, and it was a very like off-putting experience. I met him when I was part of Bull Run in 06. He was hired by Bull Run to be there, and you look at it, and he was there for like legitimately a day, and just not. I don't know, just like weird. Like he was very like, I have a picture of me and him where he's just like looking in the other direction. I'm like, got the lanyard on, like I like a paying customer. You'd expect a little bit more like personality or a little bit more love than I saw. But I got a pretty off-putting. I didn't have the fondest memory of him. Well. Let's see. The Drive Inside is asking, will the market treat American supercars the same as Lamborghini, Ferrari, etc.? Seems America is pumping out some higher-end cars these days. So time will tell, but right now, I don't think it's going to be a while before the American supercars are always going to be different, right? Like Japanese cars. There's some Japanese cars that are highly revered, but they're not revered. Italian sports cars are always going to hold the passion, the heart of a lot of people. And then you've got like Koenigsegg will always hold the torch, or at least as far as I see. But Pagani, Lamborghini, Ferrari, and even like the MC20, the MC12, Maseratis, they're always going to be that like special feeling car. The Bugatti's made in France. It's like it's a blunt object. It's known as a fast car, but it doesn't have that reputation like the Ferrari cars that are like, oh, you want a like every cool sports car at some point in time, somebody's going to think it's a Ferrari. It's simple as that. They've got the best, strongest brand in the world. Good stock to own. Probably it's not the best price point to buy it now, but long term, I don't think you're ever going to go wrong with a stock and a company that has people lining up to give them money. Apple has the same thing. I just think it's not going to be a real issue. But I don't think. I mean, I definitely not like if you think about like the Falcon F7 and the SSC Aero and even Hennessy's cars, they're never going to be the equivalent. I don't care how much you pay a guy to design the interior. It's never going to have that feeling that you get driving like a hypercar or a Ferrari or Lamborghini. So I think they'll always be like obviously highlighted. Like the Selena 7 will always be like respected in the hypercar world and the supercar world. Is like that's a cool car, but it's never going to have that clout of the never going to have the clout of the other one. No, I don't know what's going on there. Cheers, drinking, North Coast, prankster. What about you? I guess just keep it in frame. That doesn't even stay in frame. The Glenlivet 15 bottle has some sweet tea in it and it tastes glorious. Brandon, you're obviously number one. Who's number two enthusiast influencer? It's an excellent question. I like the way that Cletus has done his channel. Like, I think he's done very well building it up, being reliable with merchandise, frequent merchandise drops, um, pay-per-views, reinvesting. I think he's kept the engagement up. I think there's a dozen ways to get there. I don't think there's one guy that stands out. I mean, Rob Dom has the passion, but not the success rate. I'm just trying to think of like one guy that was like, that guy really carries the torch. A lot of people, I try to steer clear. I like authenticity, so I like watching somebody and being like, I met that guy in person, and he's the exact same way off camera that he is on camera. And I think everybody's got a little bit of a, hey guys, Rob Ferretti here. What's going on? And this is a great day to be alive. And I don't know. Nobody really comes to mind. By all means, put in the comments who you think. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Sergeant J, will you have time to link up and meet and greet in Seattle Adventure Drives? Oh, nice. I will bring my 18-year Bowmore, I'm sorry. Love to see all the cars too. With COVID problems. Right now we're on. We're going to make the call June 1st. So a month from now, we'll make the final call just so people have time to react and move flights if need be, if we have to adjust the trip. Let's see. There's something I caught. Oh, something about Mischief. That gave me the opportunity to point out that Mischief has re-released their Gumball 3000 video, which was probably their best video. I think their best video. And if you go to mischief.tv, you can see they remastered it so it's in high definition, and then put it up on YouTube for free for all to watch. So if you guys are not doing anything after you watch me, which is going to wrap up in a little bit, by all means, go check out the mischief.tv, and you can check out the Gumball 3000, which I think it's a time period video, but it's really enjoyable to watch. Pickle Me Timbers. DMV is taking 20 days to process new tags. For fuck's sake. Yeah, I know. Pickle Me Timbers. I'm still waiting on the tag. My temp tag on my C8 has expired. Have I interacted with the Mischief crew of show? If so, can I share a story? So I have I filmed with Dado before, but I was sort of like, I don't know, it's weird. It was a weird time as far as like now everybody sort of gets along. When I say gets along, they infight, but there weren't many players in the game back in the early 2000s. So it was like me, Mischief, I think it was like Long Island Extreme. I forget who else there may have been, but there wasn't a lot of guys making DVDs in this space. And me and Mischief were the two big ones. And I remember, like, I thought, like, oh, that's cool. We should hang out and do something together. And I think they had a little bit more animosity towards me because it was just like, screw that guy, like O'Doyle rules. And I think that has since passed. Obviously, I've run into Dustin probably 2 or 3 years ago, and we've BS'd a couple of times since then. We plan on filming together and doing something. But I think we both earned our stripes in the game, and whatever silliness that we sort of had, or I would say beef. I don't think there's any real beef, but there's definitely like, don't step on my toes. This is my game, and I think that's sort of the threat I presented. But I hope, and I think that they probably made me raise my game a little bit, and I hope I made them raise their game a little bit as far as content and what was good and what was acceptable, and we both put our best efforts in. And I think everybody wins when that happens. It is what it is. I remember you used to have the booths at the auto show at the Javits, Rob's Young and Crazy Times. Yeah, there was a video that just went up. One of the girls that worked the booth was at the show, and she just put up a video of her at the show. So you can see my booth. You see my Corvette over there. It's pretty cool throwback. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to shooting with Dustin and whoever else. I think Dato's sort of graduated out of the game, but it's pretty cool. It's cool to like sort of come full circle. Yeah, so I'm looking. I said I was buying my first car. We got that coming on. Business is a little slow. Yeah, I don't really have too much more. I'm gonna just polish my drink here. Let's see. I'm looking at other cars. I want to get this house done. Like I'm really like that's. I was just talking to the site people. I've got a guy coming with a machine tomorrow, an excavator to clean up the backyard, and we're going to be moving some dirt. We're going to start the septic pretty soon. The septic is a costly job, but like right now I'm trying. What's up, dude?
Can you come and lie with me? I'm starting to get tired.
Okay, I'll be up in a minute. I'm gonna overrule all you guys.
Also, why do you turn the air conditioning?
I'll turn the air conditioning on too. How do you say no to that? I'll be up in 4 minutes, dude.
Okay, then.
Okay. So 4-minute warning, everybody. So yeah, Make Money Trucking. Your opinion on investing in 2020 Corvette for Denver company rental car market. Glad I didn't buy the Supra. Yes. The Supra was a flop compared to the Corvette. But the C8 is killing it right now. I just don't know how strong the rental car market is. And then the health of the rest of the company. It's a tough time to sort of predict and franchise and predict and scale up. I would probably, if you've got plenty of cash available or plenty of credit, I don't think you're really going to get hurt on the car, but it is something that you have to be wary of, that the market may not produce the fruit that you're used to year over year. But the C8, it's a popular car for me right now. How much money did the house cost? I should be at the door like 1.3, 1.4 million when I'm done building it. And that's like 700 to buy it and then like 700 to build it. 20 grand for a septic system, I wish. Septic is going to be 28,000. And then I've got them also doing the seepage pits. I've got four 500-gallon seepage pits. It's going to be another 10 grand. Let's see. Let me just make sure. Favorite sitcom would have been Seinfeld. Got that for folks' sake. Got that. Just want to make sure I got everybody who spent money to talk to me tonight. You guys are always appreciated. If you guys, I don't know how many of you guys are on the behind the scenes stuff, but if you guys are subscribed to my channel, like that paid subscription thing to my channel, I put up a couple of like behind the scenes videos. I put up all of Super Speeders 5 up there. I've got the pilot we did, me, Matt Farah, and Vinny Russo did a pilot for one of these major networks. I'm not going to bother saying who it is now because it's irrelevant, but that was like 7 years old and I found it on my hard drive. I'm like, oh, let me throw that up for kicks. I just shot today like a little descriptive thing to that. I'll put that up tomorrow morning so you guys can all make it through your quarantines laughing at the silliness that is these shows. But a lot of you guys will see right through it. Some people that don't know cars so much will just be like, oh, that was pretty cool. But anyone that knows cars is like, wait, you didn't do that to that. Those of you guys asking about the DVDs, I put a link in the description for the Super Speeders merch website. I've got all the DVDs available on that site. So if you want to stock up, I want to blow out the inventory. I think all 7 of them are $50 plus like $5 in shipping. And then if you want the Blu-rays, there's Blu-ray options as well. You can get those. But those videos, once I'm out, I'm out. But I'll do some giveaways attached to that stuff too. So like every 100 people or every brick of 100, I'll give away something, a Ferrari part or a wheel. I don't know. So if you get a DVD package and it comes with a giant box, you can assume you probably won. But thank you guys very much. I'm going to go put my son to sleep. I appreciate you guys coming out. What's in the glass? Again, let me just wrap it up. Sweet tea, Glenlivet 15 bottle. Very, very nice. The whiskey that used to be in here was delicious. But check it out. Again, thank you very much for joining me. Good evening. I will finish this and then I'll go up. But enjoy your Friday night. Thanks for stopping by, and I will catch you guys next Friday. But I'm also going to put up a weekend upload as well. So, cheers to you. Have a good day.